All right, here we go. 30 minutes. Let me turn this down a little bit so it's not so loud. So I want to be able to talk over it. Let's see. Got a different guitar here today. This is just some, like, I don't know what they would even call this, like all or natural koa or something like that. This was one of those B-stock guitars that, like, supposedly has some kind of dent or scratch or blemish, I think is what they refer to it as. And so they sell them for much cheaper than they otherwise would be. And I don't even know what was wrong with this one. It's a beautiful guitar and it sounds great. Let's see, tour update. So my rhythm guitarist, unfortunately, I don't think is going to be able to make the tour, which is fine. It just means I got to find another rhythm guitarist. So if you know somebody, anybody watching this video, if you've got anyone in mind, I'm looking. We need somebody. I had an audition last night, went well, got a couple more lined up, hopefully the next week or so. It's tricky because Christmas is in 2 days. But we'll find them, get them locked in. It'll be good. It will be good. What happens when I'm doing these auditions is I have to learn, I have to go back and like relearn the rhythm parts, because like I mentioned in a different video, I usually track stuff that seems to be fitting well and then I might dump it, or dump it mentally. I just don't think about it. So like I was having to go back and relearn shedding this skin, which the intro line, the rhythm part, is going like this. It's probably not loud enough. Something like that. The rhythm is, I think, hitting that, and the lead is going. So while that rhythm part is going on, the lead line for this is going. Wait. Yeah. So that line is kind of continuously running through the verses. Even in the breakdowns, there's like in the part where the vocal comes in, there's a bit more of like a just kind of chugging, and then it's back to and then when it hits the chorus, it really opens up melodically and it goes. See, I goof it up here. This is why it's like I have to tell these guys, I'm relearning the part as I'm showing it to you, so bear with me. But it's like, so pretty sloppy, but I think you get the idea. The idea with the chorus is always like usually to hit a chord that opens up and settles into it, that it just hits that. Technically this is the 4 if we're considering it in the major. This is the 4, but when you're adding, you're getting to the 1, I believe, by doing that. So it's kind of like a 4 sus, or I don't know, something. I don't know the technicality of it, but all I know is it sounds very right when it hits, and so it opens up. And the only reason I do anything like that is because the drums can follow that, and it gives it a little bit of like aggression in between those open hits, right? So anyway, that's shedding this skin, at least verse and chorus, and then the bridge part is obviously different, but bridge on that one actually has a key change. It's cool. I'll show you. It's and then it does, like right there it goes. Yeah. What exactly that key change is, I don't know off the top of my head. If I played it out on the piano, I could figure it out, but it just, what this note or this chord, is this thing? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever, it just sounds good, and I know it flowed into there well and it flowed out of there well, so all good. So yeah, a lot of my time right now is going back through the old songs, and not even the old songs, like that one was just released like a month ago, but just figuring out what exactly the rhythm and the lead parts were so that I can show everybody. I go back and forth on this all the time. Should I play, because obviously I can play these parts if I just practice them a few times, like I lock them in. And then the question is, can I play them and sing? And I can. What I hate though is that every time I get sucked into this, which I have many times before, like I can get it pretty locked in, but the vocal is always a little bit better if I'm just singing. And because I place so much emphasis on it, because of how much work it's taken to get it back, it seems to me a better resolution just to focus on it. There's a lot of people that can play these parts, right? Like they're technical in a sort of a Fire Follow specific way, but they're not that technical. So like, there's lots of players that can play this. Smarter for me, I think, to just bring them in so that I can focus on just the vocals and then actually really making sure that we have a great live show. So yeah, right now, find a rhythm guitarist. That's priority number one. My other players, Ryan, he was down here last week, or I guess earlier this week, and we ran through just touch up lead line stuff. He practices like crazy. Like he's so dialed in, and he's always locked. Emily's always locked, as you guys know. So we'll be good. Just gotta get this rhythm guitarist sorted. It'd be nice if they could sing. That is preferable, because obviously the Fire Follow stuff, especially the new stuff, is so harmony layered. But it's not necessary for now. But it would be nice. I'm also, the next single, I got the mix back. What I do is I record everything, I track all the parts, get it where I've got all my editing done and everything is like as tightened up as it could possibly be on the recording side, and then I send those audio files out to another group in LA, and I think they're in Texas too, but you can do this from anywhere obviously. But yeah, they do the mixing and mastering there. And so I'm getting mixes and masters back on the new song right now. And it's always tough because like overall it's insane and it's so big and explosive and I love it. Obviously with the Fire Follow stuff, I'm trying to do something a little bit unique in terms of such deep multi-harmony vocal layering. And it can be tricky to try to get all of that in when you've got obviously a lot of instrumentation happening as well with multiple guitars and then all the synth and keys, drums, bass. There's just a lot to work in, and so it can be a little difficult for me, I think, to explain to these guys what exactly I'm wanting or hearing, but they're as good as it gets, and so they always put up with me, and I don't know, I feel like they're knocking it out of the park, especially the last two songs. Those were done by these guys and they're just phenomenal. So yeah, I'll spend the rest of tonight, some part of tomorrow, like listening to this mix on every stereo, you know, every set of headphones, my car speakers, everything that I can, to try to get a sense of what little changes need to happen. And yeah, I'll send it back to them and they'll lock it in. And then hopefully we can, as my brother would say, cut it and print it, be done with it, send it out for distribution. So if that happens, then I think we'll be ready like mid-late January with this one. It's a powerful song. Excited to get it out to you guys. Yeah. It's going to be interesting the next few months as I'm trying to focus on getting the band dialed in. I've got 3 or 4 other songs that are well underway tracking wise, and obviously had the tour thing not popped up, I would have just been recording like crazy for the next few months, but I think that's going to have to get put on hold a little bit. I can only focus on so much at once, and the tracking is so intense in terms of like the level of just attention to detail and focus that has to go into that might have to take a bit of a back seat for the next few months. But there's still at least 3 songs that should come out between now and before the tour. We're going to try to rapid fire them like 1 a month, and they're basically done and just need to get the final mix master on them. So they're all, I love them all obviously, but yeah, I think they're all monsters in a good way. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing too much thinking right now, if you can't tell. And whenever I do too much thinking, I don't have anything to say. Let's see. I'll show you some cool parts. So like the Puppeteer, it's a pretty simple riff, but it's big stretches. So it's like, no, that's actually not it. Look at me. I'll remember my own guitar riffs someday. All right, so the chorus goes like this. That one is like, that one's brutal. Like your hands have to, my hands are not in like great guitar playing shape right now. Like I can feel my forearm like just locked up on that one. A lot of big stretches for sure. These chords, I don't know, I guess you're adding, I think you would call this like a sus10, because this is adding the 9. Yeah, I don't know, sus10, something like that. They're big stretches for sure. And then that song really just relies on like, I don't know off the top of my head exactly what it is, but it's the octave guitar. And those octaves are just perfect. I love using them to harmonize with you know, with a rhythm part like. It's another interesting one. The If It's War You Want riff is pretty cool. I haven't played this one in a long time, so bear with me. You do it slow first. Yeah, so it's... how sloppy I am with it, but... The chorus on that song is just big and open, just... super simple. Yeah. Yeah. Not much to talk about tonight. Sorry. I just decided I was going to do this every night, so some nights I might just kind of sit here and play guitars. I'm trying to get ready for auditioning these rhythm guitarists. I can't wait to use that riff, because what I love about it is like it's so aggressive, and obviously it's moving fast. It's a lot of these hammer on off things, but so it lets you come out of something like that and then just land on like a it's gonna be awesome. I love stuff like that, just like kind of brutal dynamic changes. Abrupt is a better word than brutal. Abrupt dynamic changes. Yeah. I always start the song, like when I'm writing anything, with, usually it's a vocal melody. It might be like a phrase or, you know, a word or something, and then just assign a melody to it that feels right for that particular word or phrase. And then just find, I'll usually do this on the piano first actually, I'll just find the chording that I like underneath it, and then I'll come over to the guitar, because the guitar is really what's going to move it in the song. The piano's, it's hard to make, that's not really the focal point. So I'll find that bass chording then, in this case, like that's just a 4, 6, 5, that I could go there, so 4, 6, 5. And that's where just little, you know, you can like go from the 4 down to the 3, but keep these fingers here so it's sort of, you're only moving the 2 low strings. stuff like that, just to keep it a little bit more interesting. And that's where, you know, songs like Shedding the Skin, for example, where it's going. And again, all these songs are in different tunings, but for now, I'm just whatever this one. Same kind of thing, just a little bit of movement, and then nice big openings. That was a mistake I used to, not a mistake, but it was, I used to, I wouldn't open the choruses up enough when they would hit. Sometimes I would try to keep too much, like, like I remember a song that was really popular with an old band that I was in. We had the chorus doing something like this. And it's cool for a certain type of music, but it doesn't... or however that little whole octave thing went, but the main thing I'm getting at is this part. Like, that's just... I don't know. In today's music, stuff like that just doesn't work. It's, you know, people want to hear a nice, like, a chorus that just blooms open, basically. So, we're trying to make things bloomy over here. Plus, I like the way it sounds, too. It's not just industry or whatever. That's why I love, like, the aggressive instrumentals coming into the verses and sometimes in the pre-choruses that are a little bit more dissonant, because it allows you, when you just hit that chord, for the song to feel like it settles there, you know? It's nice. Goofing that up. I see I'd have to practice that for a while. What I'm trying to do there is slide 5 to 7, and it's just not. Not that complicated, I'm just fucking it up. So sloppy, bear with me. It's crazy, like, I've broken this wrist a few times. I raced motocross growing up, and just skateboarding and other shit. And I can feel it, like, it's fine if I just play guitar, like, consistently. But if I don't, it's like this thing is just locked. Rigor mortis over here. I can feel it doing that right now. I have, like, arm pump. It's like a motocross term when you're you get too much, like, blood in your forearms and, like, your hands lock up, and I literally get that from playing the guitar. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's like the one pentatonic. I know a couple pentatonics, but barely. See, like that's all new. Like I could use that in a song at some point. It'd be a great bridge. Like honestly, that's like how half the writing happens, is just sitting here for long enough. And like that's a little bit like that's similar to a piece that's in the Shedding the Skin bridge, but it's a little bit, the context is totally different, right? So like that could work in its own bridge independently. And then I would probably do some kind of like, I don't know, I would play around with those octaves to find, because that, it's like walking up on the second one.